are at stage 10, paragraph page 935. Well, almost at the end. Okay, and
Oh,
our last headword was blood vessel, Newark type of lesson. Okay,
yeah.
so let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. First question. When you go on holiday, what kind of scenery do you prefer? When you go on holiday, what kind of scenery do you prefer? When I go on
When I
holiday,
go on holiday,
the kind of scenery
the kind of
I
scenery
prefer is
I prefer is the beautiful garden.
beautiful garden. Very good. Do you think that admission to museums, art galleries, etc. ought to be free and that the government should pay to maintain such places? Do you think the admission to museums, art galleries, etc. ought to be free and that government should pay to maintain such places? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think that
I think that
admissions to
admissions
museums,
to
museum,
museums,
art galleries,
art galleries,
etc., ought to be
etc.,
free,
ought to be
and
free,
that the government
and that the
should pay to
government
maintain
should pay to
such
maintain
places.
such places.
Very good. What was the old sign for a barber shop? What was the old sign for a barber shop? The old sign
The old
for a
sign
barber shop
or a barber shop
was a red and
was
white
the red
striped pole,
and white stripe pole,
which was hung
which
outside.
was hung outside.
What did the color red represent and why? What did the color red represent and why? The color red
The color red
represented blood
represented blood
because in
because
the old days,
in the
the
old days,
barber, apart
the
from
barber,
cutting
apart
hair,
from cutting
also
hair,
used to perform
also used to perform
small surgical
small
operations.
surgical operation.
That was cool. Okay, what do we use elastic bands for? What do we use elastic bands for? We use
They
elastic
use
bands
elastic band
for wrapping around
for
things
wrapping around things
like banknotes,
like
etc.,
banknotes,
in
etc.,
order to keep them
in order
together.
to keep them together.
Very good. What's the difference in structure between the verbs encourage and discourage? What's the difference in structure between the verbs encourage and discourage? The difference in
The
structure
difference in
between the
structure
verbs
between the verbs
encourage and discourage
encourage and
is that
discourage
we
is that
encourage someone
we encourage
to do
someone
something,
to do
whereas
something,
we discourage
whereas we
someone
discourage
from
someone
doing something.
from doing something.
Right. If a friend of yours said that they were thinking about traveling around the world alone for a year, would you encourage them to do it or discourage them from doing it? If a friend of yours said that they were thinking about traveling around the world alone for a year, would you encourage them to do it or discourage them from doing it? If a friend of mine
If a friend of
said
mine
that they
said
were
that
thinking
they were
about
thinking
traveling
about
around the world
traveling
alone
around the
for
world
a year,
alone for a year,
I'd
I'd encourage to do
them
it.
encourage them
I encourage them
to do it.
to do it.
Greg, why should Callan Method students not feel discouraged when they make mistakes in the lesson? Why should Callan Method students not feel discouraged when they make mistakes in the lessons? Callan Method students
Callan Method
shouldn't
students
feel
shouldn't
discouraged
feel
when they
discouraged
make mistakes
when they
in the
mistakes
lessons
in the lessons
because making
because
mistake
making a
is a
mistake
necessary
is
part
a
of
necessary
the
part
learning
of
process.
the learning
The students
process.
learn
The
from
students
the
learn
teacher's
from
constant
the teacher's
correction
constant
of their
correction
mistakes.
of their mistakes.
Very good. Which do you think is the most graceful animal in the world? Which do you think is the most graceful animal in the world? I think the
I think the racehorse
is the most
is the
graceful
most
animal
graceful
in the
animal
world
in the world.
and expensive also. Right? Very good again. What's the basic meaning of the word liberty? What's the basic meaning of the word liberty? The basic meaning
The
of
basic
the word
meaning
liberty
of the word
is the
liberty
freedom
is the
of an
freedom of
individual
an
in
individual
society.
in society.
Where's the Statue of Liberty? Where's the Statue of Liberty? The Statue of
The
Liberty
Statue of
is at
Liberty
the
is
entrance
at the
of New
entrance
York Harbor.
of New York Harbor.
Describe it. Describe it, please. It's a huge statue
It's a
of a
huge
woman
statue of a woman
representing freedom,
representing
which was
freedom,
given to America, which was given to
which was
America,
given it
to
to
America
to America
by
by
France. In
France.
her right hand,
In her right
she
hand,
holds a
she
torch,
held a torch,
etc.
etc.
Right, one more. It's a huge statue
It's a huge
of
statue
a woman
of a woman.
representing freedom,
Represent freedom.
representing freedom,
Representing freedom,
which was given
which was
to
given
America
to
by
America
France.
by
In
France.
her right hand,
In her right
she
hand,
holds a
she
torch,
holds a
etc.
torch, etc.
Very good. Why do most people keep a torch and a supply of candles in their home? Why do most people keep a torch and a supply of candles in their home? Most people
Most
keep a
people
torch
keep a
and a
torch
supply of
and a
candles
supply of
in their
candles
home
in their
in
home
case there's a
in case
failure
there are failure
in their electricity
in their
supply.
electricity supply.
Very good. Do you ever feel tempted to move to another country permanently? Do you ever feel tempted to move to another country permanently? Yes or no?
Yes,
I sometimes
I
feel
sometimes
tempted
feel
to move
tempted to
to
move
another country
to another country
permanently.
permanently.
Which country and why? Which country and why? Which country?
Hawaii in the
Hawaii. Oh,
US,
why? Why?
because weather and atmosphere are good.
Ah, me too. I like Hawaii. Okay, next. What's the classic way of tempting a donkey to move? What's a classic way of tempting a donkey to move? The classic way
The
of
classic way
tempting a
of
donkey
tempting a
to move
donkey
is
to
by
move
tying a
is
carrot
by tying a
on a
carrot
piece of string
on a piece of
to the
string
end of a stick
to the end of a
and
stick
hanging the carrot
and hanging a
a step
carrot
away
a step
from the
away
donkey's
from
nose
the donkey's
so
nose,
that he is
so
tempted
that
to
he
move
is
forward to
tempted to
eat it.
move forward to eat it.
However, as the stick
However,
is
as
fixed,
the stick is strict,
is fixed
it sticks
to the donkey,
to the
the
donkey,
carrot
the
remains
carrot
out of
remains
reach,
out of
and so
reach,
the donkey
and so the
keeps
donkey
walking.
he keeps walking.
Very good. That was long. Okay. When you visit a place of historic interest, do you prefer to be shown around by a guide? When you visit a place of historic interest, do you prefer to be shown around by a guide? Yes or no?
Yes,
When I visit
when
a
I
place
visit a
of
place
historic
of
interest,
historic
I
interest,
prefer to be
I
shown
prefer
around
to be shown
by a
around
guide.
by a guide
Why? Why do you like it? Because
because they know well around there.
they know what's okay. Very good. And you will learn more. Okay, next. What kind of work does an engineer do? What kind of work does an engineer do? The kind of work
The kind of
an
work
engineer does
and the engineer
is
does
connected with the
is
building
connected
of
with
machines,
building of machines.
houses,
I was,
bridges,
mm,
houses,
I was,
houses like house, houses,
houses,
bridges, like many
bridges,
bridges,
like
ships,
bridges, ship,
etc.
etc.
Very good. One more. The kind of work
The kind of
an
work
engineer does
and engineer
is
does
connected
is
with the
connected
building of
with the building
machines,
of machines,
houses,
our
houses,
houses,
bridges,
bridges,
ships,
ships,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What kind of gift would you be most grateful to receive for your next birthday? What kind of gift would you be most grateful to receive for your next birthday? I'd be most, one more.
I
The kind of gift
the kind of
I'd be
gift
most
I
grateful
I am most grateful
to receive
to
for my
receive
next
for
birthday
my next
would
birthday
be a
would be a handbag.
handbag. Oh, expensive one.
Mm.
Okay, very good. Next. What does it mean when a parcel or document is marked urgent? What does it mean when a parcel or document is marked urgent? When a parcel
When
or
a parcel
document
for
is marked
document
urgent,
is marked
it
for
means
urgent, it means
that the person
that
who's
the
sending
person
it
who send
wants
it
it to arrive
wants it to
or be
arrive
attended to
or be attended
as soon as possible.
to as soon as possible.
Very good. If the police believe a bomb was about to explode in a public place, what would they do? If the police believe a bomb was about to explode in a public place, what would they do? If the police
If
believe
the police believe
a bomb was
a
about
bomb
to
was
explode
about to
in a
explode
public
in a
place,
public
they would
place,
clear the
they
area
would clear the
as
area
quickly as
as
possible.
quickly as possible.
But is a person's most precious possessions always the ones that's worth the most money? Is a person's most precious possession always the ones that's worth the most money? No. A
No,
person's
a
most
person's
precious
most
possessions
precious
isn't
possessions
always the one
isn't always the
that's
one
worth The
That
most
was
money.
the most money.
Which precious metals are usually used to make jewelry? Which precious metals are usually used to make jewelry? The precious
The
metals
precious
that are
metals
usually
that
used
are usually
to make
used
jewelry
to make jewelry
are gold and
are
silver.
gold and silver.
Very good. Why do we sometimes hesitate before doing something? Why do we sometimes hesitate before doing something? We sometimes
We
hesitate
sometimes hesitate
before doing something
before doing
because
something
we are not
because
sure
we are not
what the
sure what
consequences
the
might be.
consequences might
What
be.
consequences
Consequences
might be.
might be.
Very good. What do we use a pump for? What do we use a pump for? We use a pump
We use a
to
pump
force liquid
for liquid
or gas
or
from one
gas
place to
from
another.
one place to another.
Very good. Why should a cyclist always carry a pump on their bicycle? Why should a cyclist always carry a pump on their bicycle? A cyclist
A
should
cyclist
always carry
to
a pump
always carry a pump
on their bicycle
on their
so
bicycle
that if
so
they have
that
to
if
mend
they have
a
to mend
puncture
a
by the
puncture
side of the
by
road,
the side of the
they can
road,
pump up
they
the
can pump up
tire
the tire
afterwards.
afterwards.
Very good. The most cheap printers have trouble reproducing colors correctly. The most cheap printers have trouble reproducing colors correctly? Yes. Most
Yes,
cheap
most
printers
cheap
have
printers
trouble
has
reproducing
trouble reproducing
colors correctly.
colors correctly.
Or do you prefer to see good reproductions of famous paintings hanging on the walls in a house or original paintings by less well-known artists? Do you prefer to see good reproductions of famous paintings hanging on the walls in a house or original paintings by less well-known artists? I prefer to see
I prefer to see
original
original
paintings
paintings
by less
by
well-known
less
artists
well-known artists
than good reproductions
than good
of famous
reproductions
paintings
of famous
hanging
paintings
on the walls
hanging on the
in a
walls
house.
in a house.
Very good. Are you the type of person who squeezes a tube of toothpaste in the middle, or do you always squeeze it at the end? Are you the type of person who squeezes a tube of toothpaste in the middle, or do you always squeeze it at the end? I'm the type of
I'm
person
the type of person
who squeezes
who
a
squeezes
tube of toothpaste, a
a
tube of
tube of
toothpaste,
toothpaste
where?
at the end.
At the end. Very good. Do you think that eating with one's mouth open is a disgusting habit? Do you think that eating with one's mouth open is a disgusting habit? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think that
I think
eating
that
with
eating
one's mouth
with
open
one's mouth
is a
open
disgusting
is
habit.
a disgusting habit.
Very good. Okay, what's this? What's this? It's the color
It's a
of your
color
shirt.
of your shirts.
What do we mean by a white collar worker? What do we mean by a white collar worker? By a white
By
collar
a white
worker,
collar
we
worker,
mean someone
we mean
who
someone
works in
who
an
works
office
in an
or
office
other
or
professional
other
environment.
professional environment.
On what kind of occasions do we congratulate people? On what kind of occasions do we congratulate people? We congratulate
We
people
congratulate
when
people
they have won a
when they have
prize,
won a prize,
passed an exam,
passed an exam,
got married, etc.
got married, etc.
Wherein, on what kind of occasions do people speak solemnly? On what kind of occasions do people speak solemnly? The kind of
The
occasion
kind of
that people
occasions
speak
the people
solemnly
speak
are
solemnly
funerals,
are
state
funerals,
ceremonies,
state ceremonies,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Which three substances do we need to make pastry? Which three substances do we need to make pastry? The three substances
The three
that we need
substances that we
to
need
make pastry
to make
are
pastry
flour,
are
fat,
flour,
and water.
fat, and water.
Very good. Why are harbors and ports often built in bays? Why are harbors and ports always built in bays? Harbors and ports
Harbors and
are often
ports
built
are
in
often
bays
built in
because
bays
the sea in a
because
bay
the sea in a
is
bay
calmer
is
and
calmer
it's usually
and
less
it's
windy.
usually less windy.
Very good. A tent. Oh, describe a tent. Describe a tent, please. A tent.
A
It's a
tent
small
is
structure
a small
made of
structure made
waterproof
of
canvas
waterproof
or
canvas
nylon
or nylon
supported on poles.
support,
So
supported
on poles
on poles
and is used
and is
for
used
sleeping in
for sleeping
when
in
we go camping.
when we go camping.
Very good. Do you despair easily when things are not going well? Do you despair easily when things are not going well? Yes or no?
Yes,
I despair
I
easily
disappear
when
easily
things are
when
not going
things are
well.
not going well.
Well, what is a vessel? What is a vessel? A vessel
A
is
vessel
any kind
is
of
can be
container
in kind of
for
container
liquid,
for
such
liquid,
as a cup,
such as a cup,
a bottle,
a
a
bottle,
drum,
a drum,
etc.
etc.
We can also call
We can
a
also
ship a
call
vessel,
a ship a
and the
vessel,
tubes
and the
that carry blood
tubes that carry the
round the
blood
body
round the
are
body
called blood
are
vessels.
called a blood vessel.
Very good, and that's the end of our revision. Very good, very fast. Let's have new word. Okay, so first word, repeat. Prejudice. Prejudice.
Prejudice.
Very good. Okay, listen. Prejudice is a noun. It is an unfair feeling of dislike for someone or something. For example, he has a prejudice against fast food restaurants. He always tells me that a fast food restaurant is not a good place to eat. Let's practice. What do we mean by prejudice? What do we mean by prejudice? By prejudice,
By
we
prejudice,
mean an
we mean
unreasonable
an
opinion.
origin this
Uh,
re,
one more. By
uh,
prejudice,
by
we
prejudice
mean
we mean
an unreasonable,
unreasonable
an unreasonable
un, unreasonable
opinion about someone
opinion
or
about
something
someone or something
which we form
which we
without
form
knowing
without
what
knowing
the person
what the
or
person
thing is
or
actually
thing
like.
is actually like.
Very good. Next, repeat. Purple. Purple.
Purple.
Very good. Okay, listen.
Purple.
Purple is a color. If we mix the colors red and blue, we get purple. Okay, let's practice. Which color do we get if we mix the colors red and blue together? Which color do we get if we mix the colors red and blue together? If we mix
If we
the
mix
colors
the
red and
colors
blue together,
red and blue together,
we get purple.
we get purple.
Very good. Next, repeat. Monarchy.
Monarchy.
Monarch.
Monarch.
Republic.
Republic.
Very good. Okay, listen. Monarch is a noun. It is a person who rules a kingdom, such as a king or a queen. For example, long time ago in some countries, a monarch ruled the country. Monarchy is a noun. It is a form of government in which the head of state is a monarch, such as a king or a queen, like England. Republic is a noun. It is a country run by a government and not a monarch. For example, the Republic of the Philippines, the People's Republic of China, etc. Let's practice. What's a monarchy? What's a monarchy? A monarchy
A
is a
monarchy
form of
is a
government
form of
in
government
which the head of
in
state
which the head of
is a
state
monarch,
or the monarch
is a monarch,
is a monarch,
such as a king
such as a
or
king
queen.
or queen.
What's a republic? What's a republic? A republic
A
is
republic
a country
is a
that is
country
run by a
that
government
is run by a government
elected by the people
elected by the
and
people
which does not
and
have
which
a
does not
monarch.
have a monarch.
Very good. Next, repeat. Tune.
Tune.
Very good. Okay, listen. Tune is a noun. It is the synonym of sound. For example, I heard a tune of Do Re Mi when I was a small child, and until now it stays in my head. I still know how to sing it. Let's practice. Do you find that the tunes to certain television commercials stays in your head for a long time? Do you find that the tunes to certain television commercials stays in your head for a long time? Yes or no?
Yes,
I find that
I
the
find that
tunes to
the
certain
tunes to
television
certain
commercials
television
stay
commercials
in my head
stay in my
for a
head
long time.
for a long time.
Very good. Next, repeat. Dozen.
Dozen,
Dozens of.
dozens of.
Very good. Okay, listen. If we have a dozen books, for example, it means we have 12 books. If we have dozens of books, it means that we have a lot of books. Okay, let's practice. What do I mean if I say I have a dozen egg in my fridge? What do I mean if I say I have a dozen egg in my fridge? If you say
If you
you
say
have a dozen
you have
eggs
a dozen
in your
eggs
fridge,
in your
you mean
fridge,
you
you
have
mean
12
you
eggs.
have 12 eggs
In a popular tourist
in a
resort, are there normally dozens of places to eat? In a popular tourist resort, are there normally dozens of places to eat? Yes. In a
yes,
popular
in a
tourist resort,
popular tourist resort,
there are normally
there are normally
dozens of places
dozens
to
of
eat.
places to eat.
Very good. Next, repeat. Familiar.
Familiar.
Very good. Okay, listen. Familiar is an adjective. If you always see, hear, or experience things, then it becomes familiar to you, like common. For example, Mr. Brown is a familiar name in the Callan Method lesson. Okay, let's practice. Why mustn't an army officer get too familiar with his men? Why mustn't an army officer get too familiar with his men? An army officer
An army
mustn't
officer
get too
mustn't
familiar
get too
with his
familiar
men
with his men
because if he becomes
because
a friend,
if he becomes a
they
friend,
may not obey him.
they may not
Obey him.
obey him.
Very good. Next, inadvisable.
Inadvisable.
Very good. Okay, listen. Inadvisable is an adjective. It means not advisable, not wise, or not reasonable. For example, it's inadvisable to buy a car without taking it for a test drive first. Let's practice. Why would it be inadvisable to buy a car without taking it for a test drive first? Why would it be inadvisable to buy a car without taking it for a test drive first? It would be
It
inadvisable.
mm,
Like it
it
would be. Again, it would be
it be
inadvisable to buy a
inadvisable
car
to buy a car
without taking it
without
for
taking
a
it
test drive
for
first
a test drive first
because
because
why do you think so?
because it might have some problems.
That's correct. Very good. Okay, last one. Repeat diamond.
Diamond.
Very good. Okay, listen. Diamond is a noun. It is a type of stone that seldom loses its value. People say diamonds are forever. Okay, let's practice. Why do we say diamonds are forever? Why do we say diamonds are forever? We say diamonds
We say
are
diamond
forever
are
because
forever
they
because
don't wear out
they don't wear
and they
out
seldom
and they
lose their
seldom
value.
lose their value.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Very good. So our reading is at stage 10, paragraph page 911. Okay, and the last head word
Yeah.
was wardrobe. Okay, please start at page
Oops.
912. Head word stock, in stock, out of stock,
Stock.
exceptionally.
Stock, in stock, out of stock, exceptionally. What do we call a large shop that stocks a wide variety of different types of products? We call a large shop that stocks a wide variety of different types of products a department store.